Back in 2011, Samsung looked to take the smartphone world by storm by releasing something a little bit different to us, and that is the Samsung Galaxy Note. And then in 2012, seeing the surprising popularity of that device, they released the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, which featured the same features overall, but just kind of reamped with a better screen and stylus. And now in 2013, we have yet again another reamped version of the Galaxy Note line, the Galaxy Note 3. So let's go ahead and see what Samsung has changed and see what they have to offer with this new generation of smartphone. And here we have it, guys, the Galaxy Note 3, successor to the Galaxy Note 2 and the big brother of the Galaxy S4. And I do say that because the Galaxy Note 3 is a larger device and it follows in the same footprints of a lot of the Samsung Galaxy S4's main key features. Now, the first thing we're going to get out of the way with this review is, yes, this is a large device. It is a 5.7-inch screen, which is up from the 5.5-inch screen on the Galaxy Note 2, and now comes with a 1920 by 1080 resolution with a pixel density of 389. But when you think about it, this is actually quite nice because Samsung managed to do what you would think would be the impossible yet again, and like they did with the Galaxy S4, they put this in a smaller footprint. So now not only is it bigger, it is also actually a little bit thinner, lighter, and more narrow than its predecessor. Now, right away you'll be able to notice most of the differences with the Galaxy Note 3, at least in the hardware department. So first off, you do see that it is a little bit more squared off than its predecessor. So on the sides it's going to be flat, and it's also going to have that metal looking trim to it to kind of give it that more premium look and feel to it. Though don't be fooled, it is still plastic, but it definitely does look a lot nicer. Now, probably the most talked about new feature of the Galaxy Note 3 is going to be its new back. Samsung did surprise us all by not sticking to that glossy plastic and actually going a different route than the Galaxy S4. Going around the device, you will notice that it does have mostly the same button and port layouts as the original Galaxy Note 2. However, there are a few different changes. So first off, you do get the normal power button layout on the right side of the device, and then on the left side you do get the volume rocker. And now the newest addition to this is USB 3.0. Now basically what that's going to do is it's going to allow faster charging speeds on a computer that supports USB 3.0, as well as faster transfer speeds if you are, putting files from your computer to your phone, or the opposite way around. And then on the top of the phone, we do have one of the newest additions to the Galaxy Note 3, which is the IR blaster, which seems to be one of those things that is going to be included in most flagship phones nowadays. So that way, if you do have a smart TV or something like Dish Network or DirecTV, you're going to be able to set it up and turn your TV on and off, and set all your DVR actions and use it as a normal remote. And then also on the top of the device, you are going to get that 3.5mm headphone jack, and then on the bottom you will get a smaller and albeit also weaker speaker than from the Galaxy Note 2, and then a slot for your S Pen as well. And with this being a Samsung device, you are going to get that removable back cover, and then underneath you are going to get that 3200 milliamp hour battery, and then also you're going to notice that you're going to have slots for the SIM card on the back. And then again, another popular thing with Samsung devices is the slot for the micro SD card, which now it is easier to access than on the Galaxy Note 2, so you don't have to take the battery out to put it in and take out the SD card each time to do so. Now, with this back cover being removable and plastic, you're going to notice that it is going to be a little bit flimsy when you are holding it when it's not on the device. Though that's not a big deal because most of the time, 99% of the time, it is always going to be on your device unless you are taking out the battery or putting in a SIM card or SD card. Now, since this is the US variant of the device that also supports LTE, you're not going to get the octa-core chipset. However, you are still going to get a beast of a performer in specs with the top specs here in the Android world. So you are going to get that Snapdragon 800 chipset along with the Adreno 330 GPU and the first phone with 3 GB of RAM. So with that said, no matter what game you do throw at this device, you know it's going to handle it really well, and you're not going to really notice any type of lag or anything of that sort. It's going to be all nice and smooth, especially since, you know, this is one of the top spec phones out right now. Now, since this is a 1080p display, you're going to notice that you do get better viewing angles as well as better brightness and contrast with everything. And yes, Samsung does normally have, you know, a little bit more saturated colors, but a lot of people don't mention this in their reviews. Samsung does give you the option to go into the settings and, you know, change it to like a cinema mode, normal mode, or just whatever mode that you think that's going to look more natural to you, or just, you know, your personal preference. So don't let those reviews fool you into thinking Samsung just has that one type of, you know, display that you can only keep it and you cannot change how it's going to look. You can go in the settings and do so. And the best thing about this display is, first of all, when you look at it, it looks like you're looking at, you know, like a picture in glass. So it looks like it's on top of the screen. It's that sharp, and the resolution is that much better than on the Note 2, where it looks just absolutely phenomenal. And so you're gonna get great detail and everything. And then second of all, it's how movies look. And now I'm not talking about, you know, watching something on YouTube or Netflix, just because since that is streaming, it's not gonna be full 1080p as if you were, you know, putting a 1080p movie from your computer to your device and storing it in your device that way, and using something like MX Player or the native video player on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Now, with this being a Samsung device, you are going to get software-wise its UI overhaul, which is TouchWiz. Now, of course, TouchWiz is not the most popular UI interface for people. A lot of people, you know, they like Sense more, and especially they do like, you know, just stock Google more, but it's not all that bad. So you do get a bunch of features that, you know, normally came with the Galaxy S4, which are now brought to the Galaxy Note 3. And since the Galaxy Note 3 was updated, you do get all those new sensors on the top of the phone, so you can use the, you know, the air commands and all that kind of stuff by waving your hand across the phone and, you know, swiping through images and things of that sort. And then a bunch of different things that you'll get, such as the toggles in the notification bar, as well as the brightness adjuster. Now, one of the other nice perks of this being TouchWiz is, obviously, you know that this is a bigger phone. So what Samsung has done to help us out, and you've already seen this in the Galaxy Note 2 as well, is you can go into the settings and click on a one-handed mode. So that way, when you go into certain apps like the calculator, it's going to be on the either left hand or right hand side of your screen. So that way you can use your phone as you normally would with a small device, and not having to worry about having to stretch your hand all across the screen, which may be impossible for some of you with smaller hands, or, you know, having to worry about using two hands just to do simple tasks like use a calculator. Now, one nice thing about this new Android 4.3 and TouchWiz, Samsung decided to add something that was very popular on the iPhone, and that is native emoji support. What you can do is go into something like Twitter, go and select the microphone button. You're going to want to long press on it, and then you're going to see that smiley face option on the right handed corner. You're going to want to click that, and then as you can see, you're going to get a whole bunch of different lists of emojis that you get, and most of them are all there. Just let me tell you this, just a little heat of warning, is that they are kind of different than the iPhones, but we do have them now. Now, since this is the Verizon model, of course you guys have been prepared, and you know that you're going to get a bunch of bloatware that Verizon for some reason seems to want to add on every phone that they put out, even though nobody uses half of them, except, you know, maybe like the My Verizon and then voicemail or something of that sort. And then also you're going to get, you know, S-Voice, which is really funny to me. So what you can do in S-Voice is, obviously it's something like Siri and Google now. It's just a lot worse. And now it does have some functionality though, but what is hilarious to me is what you do is you can go into S-Voice and ask it something like, did the Cardinals win last night? And then what it's going to do is load here real briefly, and then it's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do a Google Now search, and then it brings up Google Now and it shows the normal cards for Google Now on if the Cardinals did win, which they did. Another nice thing you guys are going to like about what Samsung did with TouchWiz is now when you plug in your headphones into the headphone jack, right away in the notifications it's going to bring up different selective apps that you can use that are going to be useful for it. So now instead of having to plug in your headphones and then go back to your app or your home screen and pick Google Music, it's going to be in the recommended app list when you already plug it in, so that way it's right there and very accessible, so you don't have to do more work than you should have to. Another new thing that you will notice about the Galaxy Note 3 and TouchWiz is that they did now add something new called My Magazine. Now, basically what that is something like Flipboard or Blink Feed for the HTC One. So what you do to access it is you swipe up from the bottom of the screen and it'll bring it up. And essentially what it does is allows you to see news, your social media stuff, as well as even your gallery and text messages and everything, all from one screen from swiping left and right or up and down to scroll through more of your feed. Alright guys, and that is just about it for my video. Now one thing I did leave out was the part about the camera, so I'll definitely just do that right now. It's definitely one of the best cameras out right now, I gotta say. You may have already probably seen MKBHD's list of the top 5 cameras for 2013 so far, and he has the Galaxy Note 3 at number 1 for a different amount of reasons. The depth of field, the sharpness, contrast, brightness, the color reproduction that it does, everything about it's great. Of course, low light is still not quite up to par with maybe the HTC One or Nokia 1020 or something of that sort, but it's definitely overall, I gotta say, the best bang for your buck in a smartphone that you're gonna get. But anyways guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I definitely am glad that you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it, I should say. And then basically I definitely know that I have some things to work on. I do have a few things I need to still purchase to help editing and all that kind of stuff get better for me, as well as production value for me, and make things just easier on myself, as well as making viewing my videos just a little bit better for you guys. But anyways guys, again, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BlackBlizzner. Links for those will be in the description below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.